Well, hey, I'm going to. Oh, okay.
Well, if you don't believe me, ref, I'm going to take off.
Well, he saw everyone barreling down on him, so he thought, well, maybe no one saw it.
Well, Irving will take that break.
Absolutely. Anytime. Way to go, Proctor. Look what the freshman's doing out there.
Play till you hear a whistle, right?
Yes. Well, there's a whistle.
You know, got to stop again.
You know the Richardson sideline is over there in the ear of one of the officials.
Yeah, boy, if I'm Coach Holloway, I am hot right now.
Oh, yeah.
5-yard penalty.
That's Kevin Flores moving before the snap. The wide receiver to the top of the screen.
So if you're Irving now, you got to take advantage. You got a gift for the referees. I mean, this is your best field position all night. I mean, you're in Richardson territory for the first time of this night. You'd love to try to get some points here.
Dare I say it's 4-down territory?
Yeah, I think it probably is. You know.
And,
I mean,
if it's 4th and 5, I'd say yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if it's 4th and long, yeah, you probably go ahead and punt it. But if you can get plays like that,
there you go.
Don't even worry about it.
Pena, the right side inside the 35. That's going to be close to the first down. So yeah, you're 4-down territory for sure if that's not a first. But they're going to see if they move the chains or not. Yes, they do. Good
Great
hole
hole
right there.
Good hole and good vision there by Pena. Just following his blocks. Now he's got a first down. Now Irving's in business.
Quarterback keeper. They push him rugby style to the 30.
We're not going to call it a tush push, are we?
Yeah. No.
We're not going to call it that.
No. Going back to that prior play in which Pena picked up the big yardage. Colm, 34. Remember him? He got called for the personal foul, the late hit, or the hard hit. He had a shot at Pena. Don't know how much that penalty played in his mind about how he should be aggressive or not, but something to discuss. 10.5 to go before intermission. Everyone's moving but the center. Everybody likes to point fingers right here. He's like, okay, okay.
Defense with contact, number 0. That's a 5-yard penalty.
Again, Irving will take anything at this point.
Anything to get you a spark, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 0.
Freeman came across the line.
Yeah, Reyes moved first, but it was Freeman who kind of started the motion.
Pena, again, left side. Lowers the shoulder. Keep the feet moving and protect that football. That'll move the chains to another first down. Pena, he can hide behind those blockers.
Well, he certainly can. How tall is he listed? Not very big out there, but that can work to your advantage. Again, hide behind the blockers. Also a low center of gravity, right? Tough to bring him down sometimes, especially when you can get a full head of steam going.
Ball at the 20. Again, right up the gut. This time not quite as successful. Nate Wiley, number 44, the first to wrap him up between the tackles. But hey, this is nowhere to get fancy if you're an Irving offense. Try to be basic yet efficient and don't do anything crazy. I think those plays where it takes a while to set up just doesn't work for this offense.
Right. I mean, you got to react quickly, because if you don't react quickly, if you don't move in quickly, you're not sure of where you're going. The Richardson defense is going to take advantage. They're going to be in the backfield, and the play's not going to be going anywhere.
2nd down, 8. That's Proctor in motion. The quarterback barely escapes the rush. Ibarra going into the end zone, has a man. Is there a flag?
There is.
It appeared perhaps that Cameron, number 8, collided with the Irving player before the ball reached there.
It was a nice fake by Ibarra, but the defense was bearing down of him. But yeah, he had his man open. I think if he would have led him and maybe thrown towards the right side of the end zone, he probably would have had the touchdown. But he kind of threw it where he saw him, and the receiver had to stop and wait for it. But he did get the flag out of it, if this is indeed on Richardson.
Yeah, and a good effort by Ibarra also to evade that one rusher. with the little shoulder shimmy. Feel free to use that in a sentence.
Defensive pass interference in the end zone. The penalty will be 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Texas high school football, one of 2 states that uses collegiate rules, although all high schools are like this. There's more the push beforehand. Yeah. They go left side, Pena bottled up in a hurry. So it's a 15-yarder, unlike the pros where it had been at the 2-yard line. Still puts them inside the 5.
But yeah, if you're Irving right here, you want to finish this drive off. I mean, you want to do all this work. Again, you got the generous call on the fair catch, not fair catch. You got the ball at midfield. You've been able to get the ball down inside the 5-yard line. You want to finish this drive with points here.
Pena looking for his 2nd touchdown of the season. Coach Holloway not impressed. Here we go again with the push. And your quarterback can only go so far, maybe the 2. So it'll be 3rd and goal. He makes his jaunt.
You know, you mentioned this earlier, this with Ybarra coming to the sideline and getting the play every time. It's good on communication, right? You know exactly what he wants. And 2, it also does slow the game down a little bit for a good reason, right? If you're Irving, you don't want to be in a shootout here and be running tempo all day with Richardson.
Yeah, you don't want to give them the football back and only have like 10 seconds run off the clock offensively. 3rd and goal, they're going to try it again. There's a big push by Pena. Did he get across? They're going to say no. They're going to say maybe inside the 1.
Yeah, I don't think he got in, but he got close enough that you could feel good about doing it again here on 4th down.
You think so? No fake and roll?
I would doubt it. I would be surprised, but that's why I'm up here.
You know, the Eagles, the dreaded Philadelphia Eagles, seem to be like the only team I've ever seen that makes it work where you have 2 running backs behind the quarterback and you push him.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying to like the tush push. That's the thing that they're calling in the NFL. They call it the brotherly shove in Philadelphia. But
he tries it, does it again. I think he's in.
Oh, I think he got there too.
You've got to get – come on. There you go.
He got there. Nice job.
Oh, he was over.
In that situation, you're just so close. You just need everybody pushing in the same direction. Great push by the offensive line. Ybarra just followed his blockers, just dug in there, just kept chugging those legs, and they get in. Irving's on the board.
Just under 5 minutes before intermission. Not only has Irving scored here, now they really need the defensive unit to step up and hold Richardson before intermission. Remember, Richardson started the game with the possession offensively, so Irving will get the ball to start the 2nd half. If these guys can hold Richardson, make it just a 2-possession game for the 2nd half, then
on the defense, the result of the play is a touchdown. The 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
So you had a holding call against Richardson. They're going to go ahead and accept that penalty on the kick. Therefore, you can really try to push that kickoff deep. Are they going to do the muddle huddle? Yes, they are. Going to the right side. Can he get in? Oh, my goodness, what a hit. What a hit by Cameron, number 8. That kept Perez-Diaz out of the end zone.
Boy, you know, when that play happened, it kind of looked like a mess to me. But, boy, he almost got in there.
He did.
Great quickness. He almost turned that corner. But, yeah, good pursuit by the Richardson defense. Special teams, I should say, to keep him out of the end zone. So it will be 21-6.
So you don't know whether to say, hey, great for being aggressive, or why. You know, it's one of those things.
Yeah, I don't know how much you trust your kicker in that situation. But, you know, if that snap, I think that snap just really threw him off, because if he had to jump and get the snap and then come down and then take off, if that snap had been right into his chest and then he could have started running, he may have had the corner. He might have gotten in there.
I mean, hey, a tip of the hat to Chase Cameron, number 8 for Richardson. That was a heck of a tattoo on him before he got to the goal line to keep him out of the end zone and save 2 points on the scoreboard for Richardson. So they will kick it off at about, what, the 50?
I think it was a personal foul. It was a 15-yard penalty,
yeah.
So they'll be kicking off from the plus 45-yard line.
So this is where you can really push Richardson back if you do it correctly.
Right, because if you kick it too high, of course they can call a fair catch, and that would be touchback, correct?
So you pretty much squib it.
Well, you be careful of the squib, because if you hit one of the up guys, then they've got great field position. But you got to make sure you get it past that first line of the special teams if you're going to try to squib it. But yeah, it is an opportunity to potentially pin them deep, and maybe you get the ball back, and maybe you can get a couple more points before you get it going to the locker room. But to keep them off the board on this what could be Richardson's last drive of the half, would be they're going to go onside.
Oh, it's game. It's anybody's. That's Richardson's. Irving's. That is the Tigers' ball. And look who came up with it, number 13, or a beautiful play on the far side. Omar Gandara, the junior. They got the great bounce.
Boy, I just loved everything about this,
yes.
Rob. All right, first of all, I love the call by Nickerson, realizing the field position. So, you're not losing a lot if this doesn't work out. But great execution by the kicker there. They got the high bounce. It's exactly what you want. NFL teams have a hard time executing that. Got the perfect high bounce. Great blockers. Great job by the blockers to make sure number 13, Gandara, got in there and got the ball. So, that's a situation everybody on the field knows their role. I'm not a guy who gets the ball. I'm the guy who blocks so Gandara can get it. He got in there. Now an opportunity for Irving to put more points on the board.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to get it. Let's see.
They say they touched it early?
I think they're going to make them re-kick. I did not hear the call.
Sorry, I was talking over you.
That's okay. But, you're right. Absolutely right. Xavier Page, number 12, did a heck of a block to keep the defenders from Richardson off the football. That's exactly how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
Here's a team that hadn't won a game in over a year.
What do you got to lose, right?
Yeah,
Going for that right there.
and they executed that onside kick to perfection.
Yeah, I guess
and now they're going to be looking for it. So now what do you do?
Well, I suppose you could try it again. From the what do you have to lose category. But maybe they got another onside kick play they want to try.
Yeah, they must have been offside because they moved it back 5 yards.
There you go. Okay, so they called offside. Boy, that's tough because, you hate when you execute a trick play like that so perfectly and you get it taken away from you.
That's Gentle back in deep formation, and they're going to kick it to Gentle. And one of the up backs will be Gentle, number 80, that takes it at the 15-yard line.
All right, so now you got to regroup if you're Irving, because you were jumping on that sideline a few minutes ago because you got the touchdown, you got the onside kick, maybe you got a little momentum and a chance to get some points going in before the half and really make this a game. So you got that taken away from you. Now you got to get the defense back out there. Now your defense has got to get a stop.
And the sad thing is that they still get the ball to 25, Joe. It's not like you even pinned them deep. You would literally have to kick it on the ground to try to pin them deep like that. So way too much time left for Richardson. And now we got a timeout on the field.
Yeah, I think Irving only had 10 men on the field. They were rushing a guy out late, so they went ahead and called the timeout there.
A lot of mass confusion during those exchanges. And, Joe, as you take a look at the Irving schedule, they've got the gauntlet as well. They got a few tough teams left themselves to face before the season is over.
Yeah, you knew when this District 7-6A was formed that there were going to be some teams that were going to kind of get beat up, and Irving has kind of. And you look at some of these teams like Highland Park and Berkner, and you still got Lake Highlands to play. So, like we said at the top of the broadcast, this Richardson game, if you're Irving and you're trying to get that first win, this seems like a great night to get it because, again, Pierce is fighting for a playoff spot. They're actually ahead of Richardson in the standings. And then Lake Highlands, they may be battling for a district title in that last game. So, they're going to bring all they got in that last one. Yeah,
Pierce will definitely be a big test for this Richardson team. That'd be a good game to watch. Pass far side and just a get out of my space right there with a stiff arm by Tomaclo, number 84. He too is seeing a lot of action here in the latter stages of the season. He came in the third leading receiver on this team with 10 catches averaging about 20 yards every time he touched the football.
Yeah, good size on him. Really pushed the defender out of the way there on that play. Now they're going to go deep.
Going to go to him again, and it's almost intercepted by Irving. Upset a little bit is Eric Figueroa, number 23.
Flag came out on that play. Looks like earliest indication it is on Richardson.
Still waiting to see whether or not Nickerson wants to accept the call.
Formation, 5 men in the backfield on the offense.
Might be able to hear
It's
that.
a 5-yard penalty.
Illegal formation.
Yeah, he is going to back him up a little bit, but I can understand your thinking there. You maybe as few plays as possible for Richardson here, especially if you get a stop on a play. But now he's going to take the penalty and back him up 2nd and 15 now, or 1st and 15, I should say.
First-year head coach. Very energetic, very positive thinking. Look at the top of the. If you look at the top of the field over there, about the 40-yard line, some of those Richardson coaches right on the field to play, and they didn't get their play in time. See, they don't have their quarterback running over to the coach in between every play. See what happens?
So
like
now the
you
whole
said.
team has to go over to the sideline.
Everyone has to suffer. Everyone has to pay the price.
So now they're going to take a timeout and get on the same page here.
Homecoming for these Tigers. I ask the question to everyone listening, who would you say is the most famous Irving Tiger to walk the halls of the high school? Unless something has changed, it's still Frank Beard, drummer of ZZ Top.
Hit me with that trivia before the broadcast. I like that.
Yeah, it's a good one. 1st and 15. Triplets here to the near side. Cage instead goes right up the middle, and that's been a successful play for this team. They haven't used it as much as I thought they would.
Yeah, I think after finding a lot of success early on, they wanted to see what they can get out of their passing game, and they figured they can always go back to that running game, which had worked so well on that first drive of the game. But yeah, they have been getting it out to the receivers. But again, when they have run the ball, just the offensive line for Richardson has really just gotten a great push, and it's made it kind of easy for these running backs to get chunk plays. Nice easy run ahead there by Jaden Pope.
Well, Jonathan Salgado, a defensive end, he was triple teamed. It's not a lot you can do when you're a defensive lineman when 3 guys are on top of you. Jaden Pope with the run there. Also checking in is the 4th string running back, Cade Mayo. When I got the depth chart this week from Coach Holloway, I looked and said, man, I wonder if he's going to use all these guys, because, most of the time it's just 2 deep, maybe 3. He was running 4 deep in his backfield, and he has, 3 deep in his linebacker core, and it's not like they have a huge roster in the city of Irving, but a lot of our city of Richardson, a lot of those guys are getting some playing time very quickly. Near side is Polk. Polk has a sideline, a nice downfield block, but that's coming back because of the so-called nice block by Harder. I believe is going to be a holding call on the edge, and that'll move it 15 yards back after the play. Harder, number 6, he was on the edge. You see the 2 flags about the 20. If you see the replay, you'll probably pick that one up. As a mark that from the spotted foul. We'll give them the first down, but
yeah, tough for Richardson there. A nice big chunk play there. Again, it's these running backs doing so much work. The depth there with Ford out, as we've talked about a few times on this broadcast, not hurting for depth, not hurting for talent at running back is Richardson. And it's been Polk and Pope doing carrying a lot of the load for Richardson. Got a great chunk play there. But again, the hold is why it was partially so successful, so he's going to back him up just a little bit. But Richardson's still in pretty good business here.
Coming in, Joe, 10 different offensive players had touched the football via the pass. That's called spreading the wealth, wouldn't you say? Polk still moving. How did he get through with that one? Don't know, but he's finally wrestled down. Staying with it and not giving up was David Chavez, number 41. for Irving High. Don't they kind of look like the LSU Tigers with this?
Yeah, they got the purple and gold look. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can
so.
see it. Yeah. So Irving, how would they remind you? Would they remind you of what like Army, Wake Forest?
Yeah, I'm going Army.
Yeah, I like just the solid gold helmets.
Yeah.
Black and gold trim.
Clock still moving. That was a first down. Cage is going, huh? What play? All this clap and go. In the flats and incomplete to a wide open Keyshawn Polk. That will stop the clock at 4:09. I don't believe that Cole and his coaches are on the same page on that play. He looked a little confused. Coach is going, okay, take a deep breath. He looks like a tight end, doesn't he?
I could see it.
Big guy.
I could see it.
Big series for these Tigers, trying to keep Richardson out of the end zone, but Harder's going to do his best to score. Wrestled out of bounds at the 6.
Got a little bubble screen there for Harder, and the missed tackle there by Irving allowed him to get inside the 10-yard line. So he's got great block there from 3, and then he's got the offensive lineman out there. He's just a little too quick for them, got out there ahead of them.
Wait for your blocks. I can't.
But now they're down around the 7-yard line. They're in business here with under 4 minutes to play here in the half. 1st and goal.
That Eagle front 5, so big. They've been controlling the line of scrimmage. Here's a little alley-oop in the end zone, knocked away. Nicely done by Page, number 12. And that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Yeah, they tried just a little fade, tried to get one more out there to Harder after the nice effort on the last play. Underthrew him just a little bit, and that allowed Page to be in there and break it up. Just lob it into the corner of the end zone here. And again, nice play there by Page. He looked back for the football, so he wasn't going to get flagged for pass interference. He's looking for the ball, got a hand up there, knocked it away, so now we got 2nd and goal.
Yeah.
We got a flag on the play,
We
too.
did.
They're backing him up.
We did. That's going to push him back a little bit. That was the way you want to do a fade route. I mean, Cage threw it up high, and Harder tried to catch it at the peak of his jump. Easier to talk about it than it is to do, but 2nd down, and Cage will look left. He's got 4 guys out in the zone, throws across the middle, incomplete. He flooded the left side of the end zone with 4 receivers and then tried to bring Tabora underneath all of that. Might have had a step or 2 on the defender, but Cage couldn't connect.
Yeah, Tabora just ran a little post there out of the slot, and yeah, he had his man, just overthrew him by maybe just one step. Tabora, who had the great catch earlier in the game, can't quite get to that one. We tried to reach it out, grab it with one hand. Again, maybe just a step ahead of him. Otherwise, that's another touchdown.
He doesn't have enough stickum on his glove.
Maybe so. Is that allowed still?
The clear stuff.
Whoa.
A little off the mark.
I think that ball slipped out of his hands a little bit. He really,
Think so?
unless your wide receiver 7 feet, he's not catching that one. Yeah, I think quarterback just maybe a little miscommunication. Again, I think that ball slipped out of his hand a little bit, just really overshot his receiver there.
I think Figaro, number 23, had a better shot at it than Tamaklo did, number 84. They thought, like you said, he might have been going out, and he went in and then almost threw it right to the Tiger defensive back.
Yeah, that's what you don't want to do right here if you're Richardson, is turn it over here and give Irving a chance to maybe run it back the other way. Richardson in great position to get points here before the half. Looks like they're going to take a timeout and talk about it.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out whether or not they thought, you know, a 2-touchdown lead is safe enough and let's go ahead and go for the knockout punch now. But, I mean, you've got to score a touchdown here, right? I mean, there's no first down.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of kicker Richardson has here. I mean, this would be about a 32-yard field goal from there.
Yeah, I think very doable.
Yeah. Again, I don't know what kind of depth they have at kicker, but they're going to talk about it here. You know, high school level, I'm never sure what kind of range kickers are going to have, because kicking's hard. But
it is. It varies.
Looks like they are going to bring the offense out on the field and go for this. Well,
if you're Irving High School, it's a matter of protect the goal line. You know, they can have anything in front. And here's another thing, if you think about it. What if he throws an interception at the 10 or the 5, and then you've got Irving back even more so.
Right.
And you look up at the Eagles, and they still have, 2 timeouts perhaps left. And there's plenty of time with 3:42 to go before intermission.
Yes, that's where the value is going for it deep in your own end, is when you back up the other team if you don't go for it.
So once again, here he goes across the middle. Once again, just a little too high for Tomaclo. And the Tigers hold unless there's a penalty flag. Let's hold everything.
Eric Figueroa providing the coverage and setting up 4th down.
Well, I don't understand anything what just happened.
Was I mistaken? Were we off by a down? Was that last play 3rd down and this is 4th down?
Maybe they had a down. They didn't take the down back after that penalty. Remember the penalty on the pass to the right? And we've got another penalty or a timeout for Irving High. Yeah, Nickerson's going to call time for that last play. Everyone thought it was 4th down the play before, except the officials. They knew we didn't.
Well, maybe the teams did, because I don't see any argument from the Irving sideline about what down it was. So
it's been quite an uphill battle, Joe, for these Tigers here in the first half.
yeah, it has. And, again, after that first touchdown and after that onside kick, you felt like maybe the game wasn't necessarily turning totally in their favor, but there was a little sign of life there. But again, they haven't allowed another point to Richardson since, so they have regrouped after that really tough start. Now they got to try to get off the field here. And again, they would have a long way to go if they were to get points on the board, but at least you're giving your offense a chance. And again, they get the ball to start the second half.
The last, 3 plays? I know at least the last 2, Richardson has had the same type of lineup where they flood 3 guys to the top of the field. This time they spread the wealth, if you will. 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. They spread the field, hoping for a little bit bigger gap for the receiver. He's going to go right up the middle to his favorite guy, incomplete. First I thought he was going to Tabora, who seemed to have a few yards there right across the middle. And instead he goes to Harder in the corner. I don't know if we have that replay or not, but the guy, there was a lot of room for Tabora, his favorite guy, right up the gut. But there was Tabora to the right, but if you noticed, Cage the entire time after the snap, his eyes was set on that one receiver the entire time and didn't move at all.
Well, it was 4th and long, so I think it was good coverage by the Irving defense. They were guarding against the big play. They were willing to let him check it down and hoping they could get a stop there. And if you're Richardson, again, 4th and long, you got to throw up something because, you can't take a sack there. That does you absolutely nothing. You're not saving it for another play. So just good defense there by Irving. Get them off the field to now see what their offense can do with about 3.5 to play in the half.
Eagles still with 2 timeouts to go. The Tigers go right up the middle, very conservative.
And I think that's smart on the part of Irving because you want to keep the clock running because you don't want to be using your own. But you get positive yardage. So Richardson, if they would have held them for a loss there, you might have seen them call a timeout and try to get the ball back.
Injured player, they keep saying, pointing the finger over at Upshaw, number 70. Not 100%. He's looks a little droggy. 9 seconds before they need to snap. Ibarra goes over on the far side, hits his guy Flores. The big tight end in the flat. We saw the Tigers utilize his talents more and more last week against MacArthur.
So now you got that. Now you got that first down. Nice look here by Ibarra. Hits a wide open tight end. Now they got a first down. So now if you're Irvin, you're starting to think, all right, how much more yardage before we start getting aggressive and try to get in a point to get some points before the half? Because again, you still got a long way to go here, and it's not like you got the 20, 30-yard plays in your offense either. So we'll see how aggressive they are here coming up on 2:15 to play.
Lewis is one-on-one as the quarterback slides across the 35. That's going to be a late hit. There's flags from every conceivable angle thrown after that one. And why not? I mean, Ibarra went sliding down and then he got hit.
Yeah, anytime the quarterback slides and gets hit, you're probably going to see a flag. And I know that's tough for a defender sometime when you've already got your momentum going towards the quarterback and then he drops down. But more often than not, the referees are going to throw a flag in that situation when a quarterback has slid and he gets hit. That's what happened there. And then, if they do go ahead and enforce this flag, that's going to get Irving pretty close to midfield.
It should. It should get him at midfield with 2 minutes to go.
I think they're talking. That's what they're talking about, was the defender already moving towards the quarterback when he hit him. We'll see what they say. Yeah, they're going to give it to him.
Yep. They really talked it over for a while, didn't they?
Yeah, I think that's what they were debating. They say, was the defender, again, already in the process of making that tackle, and they were going to give the defender a benefit of the doubt there. We're going to take a look at it and see, how close this was to. Yeah, I think just a touch late there. I know that's really tough there for the defender. They called that on Olin Jackson. Again, I know that's tough for him because he was just trying to make a play, but again, the quarterback was on the ground and then you hit him, so they had to throw the flag.
Push the quarterback right up the middle. The scrum is moving.
Keep chugging those legs. I mean, you still got 2 minutes to play here.
Oh, plenty of time. Plenty of time. Going back to that previous play, though, that's one of those plays where in normal fast motion it looks worse. You see it in slow motion, you go, that really didn't look that bad. But then, in real time, I think there was just a little more significance to it in the official's mind. And you don't officiate in slow-mo, right?
You don't. That can maybe distort the way we view some of these penalties. But I think it was bang-bang, but I think the officials made the right call there.
All right, we're going to chunk deep. Far sideline, incomplete. Tried to hit Proctor again. Cameron, number 8. He was that cornerback that kept the Tigers from getting the 2-point conversion. They run a 5-man secondary here for Richardson. 4 up front, 2 linebackers. Then they have 4 guys in the secondary, pretty much set up, I think, for modern-day offenses.
Right.
One of those 4 is a rover. Olin Jackson, number 2, is a rover. Ferguson, Cameron, those guys are both corners, and Kroner, Saka, they're the safeties. Handoff, Pena, wrapped up, hit again, 34. We've called his name for the good and the bad. Cone, senior leadership down there on the side.
Well, that's a big play by Cone because now you got Irving in 4th and long where they may actually just think about punting this and try to get to the half. I mean, maybe you try to go for it.
Hey,
you're in plus territory.
They may think about just letting the clock run. What do you think, down to 30 seconds? I mean, Richardson has 2 timeouts left.
Yeah, that's a good call. I think if I'm Irving, I might just go ahead and let that clock run and run and run before I punt it, or even go for it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I thought they'd let it go down. Oh, pick 6 in the eyes of Chase Cameron. He almost got that one gift wrapped.
So it's a turnover on down, but it was almost a turnover into a touchdown because, again, that was right in the hands of number 8, Chase Cameron.
A little miscommunication, perhaps.
I do like the
quarterback.
I do like the mindset there for Coach Nickerson. Again, you're down 21-6. You're in plus territory. You might as well try to go for it. Snap may be a little high. That may have thrown Ybarra off a little bit, but boy, he missed his receiver, and boy, he's fortunate. Richardson isn't up 28-6 right now because again, that was right at the defender. So now again, Richardson with a couple timeouts, and their passing game and running game have both been working very well. So they may try to hustle up and get a couple points here.
Triplets to the top. Irving in the cover 2, safeties deep. They fake one side, they run the screen. They could have some offensive linemen downfield. Harder to the 34. I'm surprised I didn't see a flag.
Yeah, there was a lot of big boys there in front of Harder, but it was similar to that play they ran earlier that got him down inside the 6-yard line.
Clock rolling very quickly.
They're going to spike it.
Cage says, let's stop the clock and hold on to a timeout or 2.
Second down 10.
So they got 14 seconds. They got 1 timeout left, or 2 timeouts left, excuse me. I keep looking at the wrong side. They actually have no timeouts. They're out of timeouts.
Coach Holloway said, I've got an offensive coordinator, but I can't give it up because he was the OC at Berkner. He goes, I got to keep calling the plays. And so he's going to call up a pass. Again, trying to get to Harder in the flat. Penalty flag down at the 32. Stops the clock with 9 seconds to go.
Illegal lineman, downfield on the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty.
So now they have the they have the ineligible.
Yeah, that was the play that was the call you were asking for a couple plays ago, and it was a similar play.
I feel like the guys were more downfield than the play before. Matthew Lewis is their center, and he's like the biggest guy on the field. Number 73 just to the left of that picture. That is Mark Gold, 54. He's the backup center.
Second down 15, 38.
So you get 9 seconds, no timeouts. Richardson might try for a short play and get out of bounds, then maybe get themselves in a position where they can chuck it into the end zone on the last play.
They have flip-flopped their center and guard. There's that play up the middle. As long as you tackle them and don't let them score, you got them. Oh, time runs out.
Boy, good play call for Richardson. They almost got the touchdown. They almost got it, but
was that like a courtesy run by Polk? Hey, we're just going to hand it off to you, buddy. And look, he almost takes it to the house, and luckily the Tigers were able to grab him and keep him out of the end zone as the clock winds down to double goose eggs. So pretty good first half. I mean, if you're an Eagle fan, you got a lot of scoring and some excitement, and the Tigers are just fighting and clawing as best they know how. So 21-6. We'll have the homecoming queen announcement when we come back.
We are getting a sneak peek at Glow and getting a look at all of the fun features, the entertainment, the color, all on the water of the Mandalay Canal. It's happening Friday and Saturday night here in Las Colinas to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Las Colinas. Incredibly spectacular, and this is just the preview. Glow is happening Friday and Saturday nights here on the Mandalay Canal with added attractions at Gables Water Street. The night ends with fireworks just before 10 o'clock.
Hello everyone, I'm Susan Stevens. Be sure to join us on About Town to hear what's playing at Music on Main and travel back to the 50s at the Irving Heritage Senior Center. That's at 6:30 p.m. on ICTN Now, Spectrum Channel 16, and Frontier Channel 30. And on YouTube at the City of Irving, so you'll know what's happening about town.
Hi everyone, Levi here. The Tejano band Squeezebox Bandits close out the series from Music on Main. Enjoy the free live music at Heritage Park and grab dinner for one of the nearby restaurants in the Heritage District. Enjoy the show October 27th at 7 p.m. Don't miss Driving Miss Sadie, presented by the Urban Black Arts Council. It's a heartwarming story set in the 1950s about two unlikely friends during the changing times of the Civil Rights Movement. Takes place October 28th at 7:30 p.m. here at the Urban Arts Center. Wear your costumes and come trick-or-treating at the Fritz Park Petting Zoo. Enjoy the pumpkin patch, hay maze, petting zoo, photo ops, and much more. Admission ranges from $4 to $10. Check it out October 28th and 29th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Taylor Swift The Eras Tour wowed audiences with an incredible journey through Swift's 10 different musical eras, featuring 44 songs. But not all her fans were able to see that show.
I got waitlisted, but it's okay.
Luckily, Taylor knows the feeling of heartbreak all too well and has given fans a second chance to see her concert in theaters.
We're just excited to see her. We weren't able to go to see her in the concert, so we're gonna see the whole movie.
We weren't able to get tickets to the actual concert, so being able to go here with all of our friends too is just a dream come true.
I've just been waiting for so long for this.
The Alamo Drafthouse Cinema at the Toyota Music Factory is one of the local theaters hosting the special event screenings.
We're here with all our friends, so that is the most exciting part for me. And I don't know, getting to share that with Taylor Swift, kind of cool. Super close to where we go to school, so it was great that the Alamo, downtown, I don't know, it's great.
I've been to various restaurants and stuff around here so many times and seen so many people going to concerts on the weekends and dressed up in their outfits or whatever they've got going on. And it feels so fun that we're getting to do that even though it is for a movie technically.
I feel it's kind of just going to be girls' night karaoke, but to a different level.
To enhance the experience, Alamo is offering a tailor-made cocktail menu with drinks inspired by her hit songs and some Eras Tour Alamo merchandise.
Which includes the shirt that I'm wearing, a disco ball cup, friendship bracelets of course, and some heart-shaped glasses.
And there's no denying the current Taylor Swift effect.
I mean, just seeing what, her effect on showing up to a football game has done for jersey sales is pretty amazing.
I read an article about the economic effect of Taylor Swift, so yeah,
literally.
she's boosting our economy, that's for sure.
The Taylor Swift Eras Tour earned nearly $97 million during its opening weekend, making it the highest-grossing domestic concert film ever, proving her profitable effect supported by these Irving Swifties.
Just being a teenage girl, you can relate to her music a lot. It's cool that we can be united by a love, and she's still playing is still amazing now, so that's great.
Is there a song you're most excited to see in the show?
Is Are You Ready For It? Because that's it's a banger. Everyone excited and on their feet,
Yeah,
so that's what I'm most excited to see.
It's going to be called the Eras Tour. See you there.
For About Town, this is Susan Stevens.
Hey Irving, your city leadership has a bold vision for recreation and aquatics here in Irving. We have great plans for Center Park and Mustang. These plans include enclosing the swimming pool at Center Park and building a new multi-generational recreation and aquatic facility at Mustang. But we need your help with these facilities. We want to build facilities for future generations with amenities and features that elevate the way we play here in Irving. Visit us at cityofirving.org/playirving. We look forward to your input, and let's plan a great future.
Hi, I'm Thomas Gandy. City Source will be coming to you from here in beautiful Long Beach, California. We'll explain why and also have these stories. A new Irving school is helping to prepare workers for jobs in high demand. See where students are learning about welding and more. Plus, see the updated features giving a brighter flair to the Irving Convention Center. That's at 6 p.m. on ICTN Now, Spectrum Channel 16 and Frontier Channel 30, and at youtube.com/The City of Irving for the important local stories and information we bring you on ICTN City Source.
Hi everyone, Levi here. The Texican Courtyard is hosting their fall movie series. They'll be playing family-friendly Halloween classics. It'll be free admission and snacks are available for purchase. Check it out November 2nd and 6th at 7 p.m. Dirty Rotten Scoundrels is a musical comedy presented by Mainstage Irving Las Colinas. Who doesn't love a 1988 film starring Steve Martin and Michael Caine? This musical is just as funny. Check it out November 3rd through 18th at 7:30 p.m. here at Dupree Theater. Don't miss a fun, challenging workout program guided by certified personal trainers. It'll be happening here at the Texas Lottery Plaza every Saturday morning. Don't miss it November 4th at 7:30 a.m.
We have the kickoff of Music on Main, which is every Friday of October. So we're really excited to kick off the series with Ashmore Rock and Roll Band.
Hey, we're Ashmore. We're here to play a 2-hour concert for the people of Irving, and super excited about it.
So they played at our Sparks and Stripes the year before last. I've known Ashmore for a while, and the first time that I booked them, I couldn't believe how good they were. So I'm always excited to bring them back to Irving. They're always a great performance and a good time.
Well, I think anytime you can bring everyone together and kind of foster that spirit of community, it's a positive for everyone, right? You think about COVID lockdowns and we couldn't do anything, and all you want to do is you realize you missed I just want to go to the park and hang out and watch a good concert.
Peace, love, and music, everyone getting together, having a good time.
The excitement of the situation instead of just listening to it on a radio. I've heard these guys before, so I'm impressed.
Welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely place.
Continuing the Music on Main series, I think it's just great for the community. Showcasing this beautiful stage is always awesome as well. Music on Main and anything really in this Heritage District or Heritage Park, it's just centrally located and it brings people from all parts of Irving.
I wanted to always go to a concert. It was on my bucket list and it was one of the things I wanted to do this year, and now I get to go to one. And it's classic rock, and I love rock music. It can bring people together while also showing them interests that they knew they never had. And then it's just a nice free event where you can do something for fun.
When Irving calls, you pick up the phone. Am I right?
Let's begin with big news of expansion at DFW Airport as air travel surges. New animation provides our first look at plans for a brand new Terminal F. The first phase will feature 15 gates. Original plans for Terminal F got sidelined by the pandemic, but now it's moving forward as DFW sets records for passenger traffic. Construction is expected to begin in the second half of next year and open in late 2026. Also, 50-year-old Terminal C will be getting a major overhaul. It will include more gates and an all-new design that will feature higher ceilings and fewer pillars to really open up the space. This work is expected to start early next year and proceed in phases. All of this news came during the State of the Airport event at the DFW Hyatt Regency. The airport CEO also shared new numbers on the economic impact of DFW.
Visitors to DFW Airport and the surrounding region generate $24 billion in economic activity each year, which was also an increase of 25%, further contributing to the region's financial well-being.
DFW Airport is now the second busiest airport in the world. The new study shows the airport supports 634,000 jobs in the region, including many in Irving.
Hello everyone, I'm Susan Stevens. Be sure to join us on About Town to hear what's playing at Music on Main and travel back to the 50s at the Irving Heritage Senior Center. That's at 6:30 p.m. on ICTN Now, Spectrum Channel 16, and Frontier Channel 30, and on YouTube at the City of Irving. So you'll know what's happening about town.
We are getting a sneak peek at Glow and getting a look at all of the fun features, the entertainment, the color, all on the water of the Mandalay Canal. It's happening Friday and Saturday night here in Las Colinas to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Las Colinas. Incredibly spectacular, and this is just the preview. Glow is happening Friday and Saturday nights here on the Mandalay Canal with added attractions at Gables Water Street. The night ends with fireworks just before 10 o'clock.
Hi everyone, Levi here. The Tejano band Squeezebox Bandits close out the series for Music on Main. Enjoy the free live music at Heritage Park and grab dinner for one of the nearby restaurants in the Heritage District. Enjoy the show October 27th at 7 p.m. Don't miss Driving Miss Sadie, presented by the Irving Black Arts Council. It's a heartwarming story set in the 1950s about two unlikely friends during the changing times of the Civil Rights Movement. It takes place October 28th at 7:30 p.m. here at the Irving Arts Center. Wear your costumes and come trick-or-treating at the Fritz Park Petting Zoo. Enjoy the pumpkin patch, hay maze, petting zoo, photo ops, and much more. Admission ranges from $4 to $10. Check it out October 28th and 29th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Hey Irving, your city leadership has a bold vision for recreation and aquatics here in Irving. We have great plans for Center Park and Mustang. These plans include enclosing the swimming pool at Center Park and building a new multi-generational recreation and aquatic facility at Mustang. But we need your help with these facilities. We want to build facilities for future generations with amenities and features that elevate the way we play here in Irving. Visit us at cityofirving.org/playirving. We look forward to your input, and let's plan a great future.
Hi, I'm Thomas Gandy. City Source will be coming to you from here in beautiful Long Beach, California. We'll explain why and also have these stories. A new Irving school is helping to prepare workers for jobs in high demand. See where students are learning about welding and more. Plus, see the updated features giving a brighter flair to the Irving Convention Center. That's at 6 p.m. on ICTN Now, Spectrum Channel 16 and Frontier Channel 30, and at youtube.com/The City of Irving for the important local stories and information we bring you on ICTN City Source.
We are at halftime here at Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium in Irving. The Richardson Eagles lead the Irving Tigers 21-6 at halftime. It is homecoming for Irving High School, so we're going to take you down to the field now to introduce you to the Irving High School homecoming court.
Yesterday, and the weather was great. There were 33 different floats in the parade. Here are the float winners. In third place, Tiger football. In second place, Unidos Si Se Puede. And in first place, the KIRV broadcast crew. Congratulations, float winners. This weekend, the Irving High class of 2003 is celebrating their 20-year high school reunion. And earlier this month, the class of 1973 celebrated their 50th high school reunion, arranged by Ms. Robbie Farina. They took a tour of the school guided by Miss Lucy, and the Toy Tigers and KIRV broadcast crew attended their party that evening. We wish to welcome all these classes and all Irving High alumni to tonight's game. And now, as we recognize the Irving High School Junior ROTC for the beautiful Sabre Arch, we turn our attention to the highlight of homecoming. As in past years, the most glamorous part of homecoming is the presentation of the homecoming court, and this year, the crowning of the grade-level princes, princesses, and the crowning and presentation of the homecoming king and queen. As the Tiger Band plays the Irving High School alma mater, I present to you Irving High School's selections for the 2023 Homecoming Court. Our first nominees for Freshman Prince and Princess are Brian Barajas and Alexandra Maldonado. Brian is escorted by his cousin April Velez, his best friend Oscar, and his percussion director Emilio Pla. Alexandra is escorted by her sister-in-law Kylia Tucker and her sister Yahaira Maldonado. Our second nominees for Freshman Prince and Princess are Jefferson Mejia Regalo and Amy Alvarez. Amy is escorted by her older brother, Chris Alvarez. These 4 candidates were chosen by the freshman class to represent them. Our first nominees for Sophomore Prince and Princess are Marcos Avalos and Raquel Romero. Marcos is escorted by his mother, Diego Estrada. Raquel is escorted by her mother, Myra Romero, and her stepfather, Carlos Romero. Our second nominees for Sophomore Prince and Princess are Aaron Bermudez and Natalia Zavala. Aaron is escorted by his band director, Scott Anderson, and his friend, Melina. Natalia is escorted by her mother, Veronica Garcia, her sister, Viona, and her friend, Miracle. Our third nominee for Sophomore Princess is Melanie Umana. Melanie is escorted by her grandmother, Denora Hernandez, and her brother, Nathan. These 5 candidates were chosen by the sophomore class to represent them. For Junior Prince and Princess, our first nominees are Jefferson Aviles and Leslie Martinez. Jefferson is escorted by his mother, Geraldine Duenas. Leslie is escorted by her teacher, Ms. Sanchez, and her boyfriend, Hubert. Our second nominees for Junior Prince and Princess are Justin Herrera and Haley Jimenez Loyo. Justin is escorted by his brother, Derek. Haley is escorted by her mother, Heidi Loyo. Our third nominee for Junior Prince is Jace Ivy. Jace is escorted by his mother, Leslie. These 5 candidates were chosen by the junior class to represent them. Our first nominee for Senior King is Jaden Barrera. Jaden is escorted by his mother, Miranda Lee Cooper, and his grandmother, Marie Barrera. His favorite high school memory is spending senior sunrise with his friends. After high school, he plans to go to college and live his dream life. Our first nominee for Senior Queen is Xiomara Dominguez. Xiomara is escorted by her mother, Liliana Torres, her father, Saul Dominguez Sr., her twin brother, Saul Jr., and her older brother, Uriel. Her favorite high school memory is going to senior sunrise. After high school, she plans to go to college and major in medicine. Our second nominee for Senior Queen is Talia Martin. Talia is escorted by her mother, Aria, and her stepfather, Donovan. Her favorite high school memory is playing basketball, and her plans after high school are to play basketball in college and open her own hair salon. Our second nominee for Senior King is Jonathan Casahum. Jonathan is escorted by his father, Ephraim Demke, and his older brother, Yedidia. His favorite high school memory is when he played soccer with the percussion section after a band competition. After high school, he plans to attend college and be successful. Our third nominee for Senior Queen is Kenya Minivar Cruz. Kenya is escorted by Senior Marine Corps Junior ROTC instructor, Lieutenant Colonel Michael J. Curtin. Kenya's favorite high school memory is being part of the JROTC program. After high school, she plans to go to college and major in petroleum engineering. Our third nominee for Senior King is Reuben Smith. Reuben is escorted by his mother, Ashley Jones. His favorite high school memory is when it snowed during winter football workout and they got to play football in the snow. After high school, he plans to attend college and major in business. Our fourth nominee for Senior Queen is Vivian Tran. Vivian is escorted by her sister, Kim Tran. Her favorite high school memory is witnessing all the beautiful sunsets after every band and orchestra practice and at football games. After high school, she plans to attend UT Austin and major in business management. Hook 'em horns, Vivian. Our fourth nominee for Senior King is Xavier Ibarra. Xavier is escorted by his mother, Brittany Partita, his father, Josh Ibarra, and his brother, Ezekiel. His favorite high school memory is winning first team all-district catcher his junior year. After high school, he plans to play football or baseball for Texas Tech University. Guns up, Xavier. Our fifth nominee for Senior Queen is Shula Velasquez. Escorting her is her mother, Christina Duran. Shula's favorite high school memory is playing softball. After high school, she plans to continue playing softball and major in pre-ball. Our fifth nominee for Senior King, Patrick Claros Campos, could not be present with us tonight. These 10 candidates were chosen by the senior class to represent them. On the field to crown our 2023 homecoming court is the Irving High School principal, Mr. Samuel Hernandez. The homecoming freshman prince is Brian Barajas. And the homecoming freshman princess is Alexandra Maldonado. Please step forward. Congratulations, Brian and Alexandra. The homecoming sophomore prince is Marcos Avalos.
I got Frankenstein's coming back, get that leg up, get that hamstring loose. Frankenstein, get the leg up, get the leg up.
And the homecoming sophomore princess is Raquel Romero. Congratulations, Marcos and Raquel. The homecoming junior prince is Justin Herrera. And homecoming junior princess is Haley Jimenez Loyo. Congratulations, Justin and Haley. And now, the the moment we've all been waiting for. The 2023 Irving High School Homecoming King is Mr. Xavier Ibarra. And now, your 2023 Irving High School Homecoming Queen is Miss Vivian Tran. Congratulations to the entire homecoming court, and especially to King Xavier Ibarra and Queen Vivian Tran. And now will all nominees please step away onto the track and let's play some football. Go Tigers!
Show you guys the first half highlights. Richardson got going early, and it was through the air. Quarterback Cole Cage looking deep to Evan Tabor, who makes a great adjustment in midair, hauls it in. That would make it 6-0. It would be 8-0 after the two-point conversion. Keyshawn Polk had a great first half on the ground for the Eagles. Here he takes in the short one-yard run. He had 77 yards rushing in the first half. In the second quarter, after it's 21-0, freshman Napoleon Proctor looked like he called a fair catch, but you play until you hear the whistle. Didn't hear a whistle. Let's keep playing. Let's keep running. The freshman gets out past midfield, a 52-yard return. That sparked the Irving Tigers homecoming king, Xavier Ibarra. You just saw him right there. He punches it in for the short touchdown run. That got Irving on the board, and that puts us where we are at 21-6. Let's look at some halftime stats. Eagles with the advantage most places. There are 14 first downs to 9 for the Tigers. 8 of 9 passing for 160 yards, just 11 yards through the air for the Tigers in the first half. 50 yards rushing for the Tigers, and again, the Eagles' ground game was great, 141 yards on the ground. You see the overall total yardage, big advantage there, 301 to 61. That one turnover was a killer for the Tigers, and a lot of penalties tonight, especially some personal fouls for the Eagles. 9 penalties for 85 yards, 4 penalties, 31 yards for the Tigers. Those are your halftime stats. We will be back with the second half right after this break.
Irving Tigers will receive the opening kickoff here at the third quarter of play, down by a couple of scores, and trying to adjust offensively to penetrate this very tough Eagle defense. They've lived up to their billing here in this ball game, and one of the few snafus by the Eagles is Fernando Gonzalez. Kicks that out of bounds, so Irving will have pretty good field position as they get things going here in the second half. Congratulations to the quarterback, Xavier Ibarra, the homecoming king. He didn't get to spend a lot of time in the locker room to talk to his coach about what are we going to do. But the thing is what kind of plays can they call offensively, Joe? And can they counter tough running up the middle? And passing-wise, this has been tough for him to get anything going passing.
Yeah, I mean, you saw the stats there at halftime kind of lopsided in the favor of Richardson. And, yeah, they have been able to get a few chunk plays. Really the best play of the first half for Irving was that I guess you could call it a missed call by the officials. That was a not fair catch, and it was a great play by Napoleon Proctor to get it out to midfield, and that led to their only touchdown. They got to get something going on the ground. We said a few times in the first half, they can't put themselves in second, third, and long.
And the quarterback's going to call his own number. Nice bit of running. It appears that Cole was trying to steal it from him, but he found the edge +1 and gets a first down for the Tigers. So the first offensive play of the second half is a good one offensively for Irving High School, and that's what they're going to need. They're just going to need the legs of their quarterback to try to move the football. I mean, let's be honest, Pena has not been able to do a lot up the middle.
Yeah, Richardson's done a nice job of like plugging the gaps. They haven't. Yeah, there's just not been much there running up the middle, so they got to start getting it outside. Get outside if they want to get any big gains and really start moving the ball here.
Ibarra right side breaks one tackle. And once again, it's number 34, Arion Colm, the senior, that seems to be, no matter where he lines up as a linebacker, the weak side or the strong side, he's in the face of Xavier every time that the quarterback tries to get something going. That's 34 that's hiding right behind Benitez, number 74.
Yeah, he's not the biggest guy out there for a linebacker, but he's showing some good pursuit tonight. A bit of a sideline-to-sideline guy out there on the field tonight. He's really been one reason they haven't even been able to get the ball going outside either.
This Eagle team very experienced as far as senior leadership. This is to Proctor, fastest man on the field for the Tigers. Another first down and a rare opportunity where Ibarra is able to have time number 1 and hook up number 2 for the pass completion. And then they were right back into action. Very quick huddle, only a yard as Pena goes off right tackle as the Tigers tried to catch the Eagles napping and get up to the line of scrimmage very quickly after that pass and catch by Ibarra to Proctor.
That's the first time all night Irving's tried to go any kind of tempo there, maybe tried to catch Richardson off guard. But this young man, Proctor, as Brent Nickerson tries to build up this program, looks like he's going to be a big part of it. Already a couple big plays tonight.
Absolutely. And he's got Trayvon Lewis, who's also a freshman out there. So freshman wide receivers. That is thrown behind Proctor. Proctor looking for a flag. Napoleon won't get it. And that'll stop the clock as Irving had moved the ball pretty good, but that pass play was just not in sync with Proctor trying to run a crossing pattern. Yes, you talk about the youth. You've got Proctor, 29, which is a freshman. Trayvon Lewis, 81, his other wide receiver, who's been fairly quiet tonight, also a freshman. So you've got two pretty big guys over there in terms of height and speed. One's tall, one is fast. That's the future of this program. Flores in motion. Ibarra facing down the rush, going down the sideline, trying to hit Proctor. He was well out of bounds. In on the coverage was Olin Jackson, number 2. He's the rover back on this 4-2-4 defense.
Richardson bringing a little bit of pressure there to force Ibarra out of the pocket. He was able to evade the rush, and he was looking again looking for Proctor. I think they know they've got a weapon there with some speed, but again, just not in a position to make a play there.
Except for the last week where he ran that wheel route quite effectively time and time again against MacArthur. More times than not, it's pretty much when he runs a post right down the middle that they get some big yardage offensively. They're going to have to kick it. Going to try to pin the Eagles back, and they, of course, get the backwards bounce on the punt, and it will be down at the 27-yard line. Well, a failed opportunity for the Tigers in their first offensive possession here of the second half to do something with the football, and now the pressure is on the defense to try to keep their team in this ball game.
Yeah, Irving just not able to string a bunch of plays together. They've had a play here and a play there that has been able to maybe get a little bit going, but they have not been able to have a sustained drive tonight against Richardson. That's probably definitely in large part a credit to the Richardson defense, who's played very well, particularly up front. Now I'm curious to see what Richardson's going to do coming out of the half here, because they've had a lot of success both running and throwing the ball.
Well, right now they have 2 men in the backfield, which is fairly rare for this team in the first half. And they go right up the gut, give it to Pope. Maybe a couple there. Brought down by number 45, Salgado. We haven't called his name out a lot this season, but tonight he's played a lot, making the most of his playing time.
Well, they've needed him. I mean, they've needed every man they can out there to try to slow down this running game of Richardson.
Quick pass, far flat. Nice move by Tamaclo. Another first down by the Eagles.
Richardson really kind of keeping Irving off balance here. Start with a nice run up the middle, and now they're throwing it out to the sideline. Tamaclo, more physical receiver, so I made a couple big plays in the first half. Picking up a first down here. Richardson moving the ball out to the 47-yard line, 46-yard
Eagles have a lot of weapons. That's the thing about this team. And they don't even have their starting running back in there. And here's a nice pitch and catch to the distance. Tambora, he's had one, now he has two. And a touchdown for the Eagles in their first possession offensively. Let's make sure there's no flags. It appears perhaps there's an injury down on the field. They're bringing some players back. Let's hold the phone.
And I think I see a flag back there at the 45-yard line.
You do. This could be a break for the Tigers.
Legal man downfield, so that's going to negate that play. And boy, sigh of relief for Irving there, because Richardson get a big play there and goes up 28-6. You kind of feel like this one's getting out of reach for them. But now they got a reprieve here, and they're going to be a timeout after the injury.
That was Mark Gold, I believe, number 54, that went down. Gold is a very versatile offensive lineman for this Eagles offense. He plays both right guard and center. And they're going to call the penalty there officially, but the starting depth chart has Lewis, 73, as the center and Gold as a right guard, but we noticed later in the ball game that they switched over and Gold is now the center, and they have moved Lewis over to the right guard, which really solidifies that right side of the offensive line with some pretty good sized linemen.
It looks like, yeah, there you see Gold.
Oh,
looks
wow.
like a stinger on the shoulder. So it looked like he was holding his arm, holding his shoulder there.
If you noticed in the replay, Lopez Padilla, the junior right tackle, was about 6 yards down the line of scrimmage. So you had that, but in the same token, you also had a personal foul called against Irving. So they moved it back to the original line of scrimmage, and they marked the 15 yards against the Tigers.
So that's a first down.
Yeah, that will put the Eagles in the Irving end of the field. The officials are still trying to iron out amongst themselves exactly where they stand after the call. A lot of moving parts here on the particular call.
Trying to do this math to make sure they got the ball spotted correctly, but I think they've got it all figured out. I think we're ready to go. But yeah, it is a 1st and 10 now for Richardson at the 44-yard line of Irving.
Are we sure? Incomplete.
Tabora,
one of the few times that they have not connected.
Yeah, that ball was a little bit behind Tabora, as opposed to the last pass, which was perfectly placed. He led him perfectly, and that led to what would have been a touchdown had it not been for the penalty. That throw just a little bit behind him. But he's open again. He's been open all night. Tabora can really go.
There is the fake up the middle and just that little crossing pattern, and he threw behind him.
Yeah, just a step behind him. He just leads him there to that front shoulder. He could have been going all the way, certainly into the red zone.
Let's try it again, why don't we? Incomplete. Tamakalo incomplete.
Bit high for him there, but
he's a pretty good size wide receiver too.
Yeah, we saw him kind of pushing some defensive backs around in the first half.
He is definitely the bigger of the three targets, and ironically, the last three guys that we've seen. So you got Harder, Tabora, and Tamaklo. They're your 1, 2, 3 receivers on this team as far as stats are concerned. And between the three coming into tonight's game, they had 11 touchdowns. Tabora with a couple already tonight. Up the middle, not much there. Hey, how about a yellow flag?
Or laundry.
That's right between the tackles where you see offensive holding. Coach Nickerson will have to decide whether or not he wants to make this a 4th down call, 4th and 10 for Richardson, or move him back 10 yards. Well, it's a face mask.
Wow.
He won't have a choice, will he?
It is not his choice.
No. Oh, that hurts the Tigers.
Oh, that is a killer, because you're putting them in a situation where they might be thinking about punting it, giving your offense a chance here. But now Richardson's on the march. They're at the 29-yard line.
We call these growing pains for the first-year head coach. Watch the middle, see if you can see. Well,
man, you know, his arm was on the face mask. I couldn't really tell if he actually grabbed it. Maybe he did on the way down.
He was hugging the guy, right?
I mean, yeah, his arm was certainly on the face mask, but that look there, I couldn't tell if he actually grabbed it and pulled it. Maybe a little bit on the way down, but now we got another pass to Harder.
Maybe from the official standpoint.
Yeah, when you see the hand on the face mask and the head moves a little bit, they're going to throw that flag.
The way he covered him up on the tackle, perhaps it looked that way, but you never saw the head snap.
Right.
You never saw the helmet change.
It certainly wasn't a vicious face mask, but if it, you know.
Cage to his right, pressure's on. A little wobbly pass out of bounds.
You know, not too long ago they had 2 penalties. There was inadvertent and personal foul. And they used to have a long time ago a 5-yard face mask, but that was still a thing. That's probably what that would have been. But now it's either 15 yards or nothing.
Upshaw, number 70, providing the pressure for Irving High School on the quarterback. Once you're to the right of your screen, Upshaw trying to get a paw in the face of the quarterback, and he just
forced a bad pass
wobbly.
There. Now you got yourself another shot here. Now you got 3rd and short. Richardson probably thinking about 4 downs here.
2 running backs in the backfield, and they decide to throw. Harder, wrapped up, still chugging a little bit. Nice play defensively. Page, one of the 2 in on the defensive end. Ventura also some action tonight. Ventura playing the right corner for Irving, a senior.
Richardson right now going a little bit slower. I think they'd be very happy here to just really kind of bleed out the clock and have them finish off a long scoring drive and kind of put this thing out of reach, because not that they're thinking ahead just yet, but they are going to need at least 1 more, maybe 2 more wins after this if they want to get in the playoffs.
Handoff, Pope, right side, breaks a tackle, inside the 5, and he's going to score. Nice bit of running by Jaden Pope, the junior, substituting tonight for Donovan Ford, who did not suit up, the team's leading rusher. And Pope has a touchdown to the resume, and this Richardson offense looking pretty sharp tonight.
Yeah, boy, it has been. Whether it's been Polk or Pope, I mean, they've both had all kinds of running room on the ground. The offensive line has been terrific all night for Richardson. They've gotten a good push up front, and just the running backs have had a ton of room to run. Now they're going Wildcat, going for 2 more.
And why not? Left side, give it to Buckley, number 23.
The junior, he is a really good athlete for them. He plays both ways. He plays on the defensive line. He also plays a little running back. You see him a Wildcat quarterback there. He's going to be a guy you're going to be hearing, I think, a lot more from next year. But here's another look at the run by Pope. And again, just bowls over the defender there and just keeps fighting for yards. He wanted that 6, and he got in there. Just really determined run. This caps off a 74-yard scoring drive for Richardson. It's not out of reach quite yet, maybe, but you're feeling pretty good about things if you're a Richardson Eagle, now up 29-6 here with about 7 minutes to play, just under 7 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I would have to say, based on what Irving has done tonight offensively, it's going to be a tall order indeed. Now, again, this is an Irving team that's very young. They come in with 4 freshmen on the roster, 4 sophomores on the roster. Don't see that very often. Some halftime scores real quick to pass along. District-wise, I thought Pierce would give Lake Highlands some trouble, but that's not the case at the half. 35-14. Nimitz is getting shut out by Jesuit 35-0, but the surprise score at the half, Highland Park 10 and MacArthur nothing. It's just a 10-point difference between those 2 schools. So Coach Nicholas and his defensive guys got to be proud of what they've done so far in a half of football.
Lake Highland and Highland Park tied in the loss column now for the district title, so might be scoreboard watching there over in Lake Highlands too, as they see if they can get a little help here with a couple weeks to go in the season.
Proctor fights his way across the 15 only to have a penalty flag thrown behind him. And that could put the Irving Tigers in a hole as they start out offensively, unless it was a face mask against Richardson.
And it was.
There we go.
It sure was.
We saw personal foul, and then, okay, let's throw the face mask in there.
So, I mean, they're getting a little assistance here from Richardson on the penalties. A lot of penalties on Richardson tonight, despite the fact they're in left. Maybe the only thing that Richardson is not happy with from their perspective tonight is the penalties on them.
Hey, remember, they had, 10 penalties?
At the half, it was 9 penalties for 85 yards.
Wow, that's on par for what they did last week. Got to clean up the penalties. We have discussed that at length on our 5 previous telecasts here on ICTN about the number of penalties we've seen thrown in high school football games so far this year.
Another whistle.
Hey, a penalty. We're going to try to get that 10th one.
This one's going to be going Irving, illegal procedure, false start.
False start. Tigers. First down, 15 at the 27.
So if you're Irving, this is just where you don't want to be set up in a 1st and long, 1st and 15. As they've struggled with their offense all night, they've only completed only 2 complete passes all night, trying to get their 3rd here. There you are.
Hey, we get Lewis.
The other freshman you were talking about.
Tried to get him in the action.
So you got those penalty yards back. You're looking at 2nd and 10 now. So, again, throwing the ball may not be where they're most comfortable, certainly not where they've been the most successful tonight, but you're in a position now where you got to start throwing the ball. You got to start staying in this game. Good look by Ybarra. And again, the freshman, good size on him for a freshman. I'm curious what he looks like when he's a junior, senior for this squad. Oh, no, ball's on the ground.
Turnover, Irving High School, and picking up is number 17 for Richardson High, Ronald Adams. Plays defensive end. He's a backup defensive end, a junior for Richardson, and that, you get that sometimes where you try to push for extra effort.
Yep.
Next thing you know, you lose the football, it's on the ground, and you've got the turnover.
That's a second turnover of the night for Irving, and just never got it clean on the handoff there. Slipped right through his fingers, and Richardson falls on it. Now a chance to really kind of put this thing away here with 6:06 to play in 3rd quarter.
Hey, little hustle by Adams. If you noticed in that play, he was on the weak side pressuring the quarterback and then flew in at the last second to grab the football that was on the ground, and Richardson says, we want more. It's bounced. That's incomplete. That is number 80, Jaden Gentle. That is his first opportunity to try to catch a pass tonight. Once these district games are over in a couple of weeks, it'll be interesting to see how things shake out. This particular district will place 8-6A, which is the Arlington schools and the Grand Prairie schools. Polk up the gut following his lineman. They've got a couple of backups in there now. Number 65, Grandos. Also, Babatunde, number 55, is in there at guard. So deep into the 3rd quarter, we see Coach Holloway using some of his backups. There is 65, Granados. 3rd down 6, 2 in the backfield. They keep it on the ground. Taking it conservative, but they've got some great running backs, and that is Polk inside the 5. They're going to have over 200 yards rushing at this clip.
Hey, boy, Polk, he just shows such a great burst when he gets the ball. Just a junior. Going to have another year of him here in Richardson. Looks like we got an injury on the field. I think we got another timeout.
Maybe a cramp as we get this deep. Since this is homecoming, this is also when you have a Hall of Fame member inductee, and it's Chris Hall. He was a lineman. These guys don't get a lot of pub, but he was a 3-year letterman, named to Dave Campbell's super team. Two-time All-District, All-City. He helped his team make the Division II 5A quarterfinals in 03. Coach Jim Bennett said he had great work habits and studies. He went on to play at UT in Austin, won that national championship in 06 with Vince Young. Interesting stat in 07 there with Texas. He started at least one game at all 5 positions on the offensive line, and he was a finalist for the Remington Trophy, which is the best center in college football. Also named to the AP All-American team, 3rd team back in 2009. Quite a career for Mr. Hall when he left Irving to go on and then play collegiate football. So he is in the Ring of Honor.
Congratulations to him tonight.
Absolutely.
Great career for the Longhorns.
Lewis back in at center. They go to Polk, left side. Did he fumble the football?
I think they gave it to him before he crossed the goal line.
Did they give him the touchdown?
Yeah, I saw official on the far side signal touchdown.
Savion Page is like, wait a minute. I stopped him. It looks like some of the players are confused and some of the officials. Is it a touchdown or not?
Well, they have 35 on the scoreboard, but I'm not sure.
Coach Nickerson said wanted to look at one of the side judges and say, was it a touchdown or not? And
it was. I mean, this is their extra point team out there. There's
yep, they go in the
Buckley out there again.
Yep. Go in the shotgun. They just don't want to kick extra points, do they?
Yeah, I'm wondering if they have a kicker. They've gone 2 every night, or 2 on every play. I don't think they've kicked a field goal or extra point all night.
No, Gonzalez is their kicker, but perhaps that's just the way they play the game. This is the touchdown. And
yeah, he got in.
Did he? I mean, the legs went across. I don't know if the ball got across.
I thought the ball was still, I thought the ball got across as he kind of slid there, but maybe this is a better look at it. Yeah, just has to touch. I mean, it doesn't have to have the whole ball across the line there.
Nope.
I think this look was the better look at it. Well, now I'm not sure. Now I'm not sure. That ball was maybe been behind his knee there as he came down.
Yeah. I mean,
that is bang, bang, but
it is what it is. And Eagles with a comfortable lead with still 1 more quarter of football to go. And if anyone had doubts how Richardson players would react after that heartbreaking overtime loss to Lake Highlands a week ago, well, your fears are answered because this team has come out very strong. 2 very, very tough games to play to end out the season. They have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, the remaining games are, again, they still have Jesuit?
Yes.
Okay.
And Highland Park, I believe.
Okay. So, I mean,
does it get any tougher?
Yeah, I mean, the only way it could get tougher if you got Highland Park and Lake Highlands.
Yeah, they have not. They have played Lake Highlands. That was the disappointing overtime. But, yeah, they've got those 2 coming up. And
that's why this one was important for Richardson, right? Because if you want to make the playoffs, you don't want to drop to the team that's in last place in the district. So they came out focused, want to make sure they're taking care of business. They may be in a position now where they could probably take out a lot of their starters here in the 4th quarter, because this game seems to be pretty much decided. But they're not out of it, because, again, Jesuit's one of those teams that they're fighting for that middle of the district. So Richardson's put themselves in a good position to, I don't know if they necessarily control their own destiny. I don't know how the tiebreakers are going to work out, but they put themselves in a position to fight for a playoff spot in the last 2 weeks. Trying to get a carry there for Proctor. We've seen him at wide receiver most of the night, giving him a carry out of the backfield there.
I have to be honest that this year I think there's a consensus, at least so far in the season with only 2 more district games left on the slate, that Highland Park is not nearly the team that they have been in the past. I mean, they're good. They're good enough to win.
Right, but they're not running away with the district, is
right.
what you mean.
Yeah, and neither is Jesuit.
No.
Jesuit is not the Jesuit of the past, and that's why you see Lake Highlands up there making noise and trying to win the district championship. This is Ibarra. He does the curly shuffle and goes nowhere.
Well, he looked up. There was nothing but white shirts in front of him. He had nowhere to go on that play.
5-yard loss for the senior. Now, don't forget, this guy hadn't played football since 8th grade. And he was running track when they found him and still runs cross country when there's a meet despite football. That's why this young man can run back and forth from the huddle back to the sideline to get the call.
Hey, sometimes when you're trying to build a program, that's what you might do. You might walk around the campus, check a look at the other sports, find some athletes, say, hey, man, why don't you come out and play for us?
In fact, Coach Nickerson addressed that to me last week and said that's what he's doing. Across the middle, just a little bit behind his receiver.
And that's something you have to fight when you maybe are taking over a program that hasn't had as many wins, is not as many kids want to play, right? You got to get them out and say, hey, look, I know we haven't won a lot, but maybe if you and you and you and you all come out and play for us, get a few more bodies on the field, maybe we have a better chance. So that's maybe one thing Coach Nickerson has to do is when he's building a program is make sure all the athletes in the school want to play football.
When I lived in East Texas and covered East Texas football, there were a lot of high school coaches / athletic directors that made that like mandatory. It was like, you want to play basketball? You got to play football. You want to play baseball? You have to play football first to make you eligible to play baseball. And you would see a lot of the small towns, 2s and 3As, where, you had a core group of athletes and they played practically every sport.
Yeah, when one of my first jobs out of college, I was working down in Louisiana, and I was covering a football program. They were a type of team that would go 0-10, 1-9 every year. And the coach, he told me this one story. He saw this kid walking the halls. He was like 6'7", 250-something. He's like, who are you? Why don't you play for me? That's the thing he was fighting. The kid's like, well, the football program doesn't win. I don't want to play.
Oh, the mindset. Kids want something that's flashy. There's a fumble.
Ball's out.
Out of bounds. It's Michael Allen. Started taking off and left the football behind. Oh, he won't hear the end of that in the film session.
See, that's the thing that will drive a coach crazy sometimes is maybe when these games get out of hand, but maybe you forget the simple things, right? And you make these simple mistakes. A simple mistake like that's not going to hurt you in this game tonight, but it can hurt you next week and hurt you the week after that. So in some ways the coaches like that because it gives them something to still hammer in the film session, right? You don't. What a coach doesn't. No coach wants to go into film session and say, well, guys, everything was great. I don't think we have anything to work on.
Coaches need no excuses, Joe.
Yeah.
They need no excuses.
They'll always just find something to work on. So there's one
they're
thing.
Going to run the wheel route. Almost picked off. Redwell Gentle was that there in the flat. Reading the eyes of the quarterback. Was one of the defensive backs who we don't have in our program.
Yeah, nice play there by the DB, though. He saw it,
absolutely.
he identified that right away and prevented what might have been another big play. So he got by at 23 there, but again, we don't have a 26 on our roster, but that was a nice play to pick up his man there and knock the ball away, set up second and long.
Again, 2 men in the backfield. That usually is a run. That was an incomplete pass. Irving with the heads-up move, just trying to fall on it in case it was a fumble, but incomplete. Good pressure. A few times Irving's been able to put some pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, Cole, he's been upright most of the night. I know that's not actually mud down there, but still his jersey's been pretty clean.
MacArthur hanging in there tonight against Highland Park. 17.
I'm not sure they got that one right. I don't know if the ball.
So?
I don't know if the hand was coming all the way forward there.
Again to Tamaluk. Yeah, MacArthur trying to hang in there against Highland Park tonight. 17-6. Very close. Wouldn't expect it to be that close coming in, but doing a good job over in Highland Park tonight. One of the toughest places to find a parking space if you've ever
it is.
See a game there.
Yeah. When I'm covering that game, I've been out there a few times for Inside High School Sports, and I always told make sure you get there early. You got to get that spot, or otherwise you got to hike on your hands.
Let's just see that replay again. Did he? Well, it looks like the ball was already coming out.
Yeah, I don't know if he got his hand going all the way forward there because, yeah, I think that might have been a fumble. Might be too late. I mean, it's too late to matter now, but.
You know, that's really a close play for high school officiating.
Yeah, it is. It's tough in real time. But, you know, nice pass rush there on that previous play by Upshaw, who has had a good night playing both ways, right? He's playing defensive line. He's playing offensive line. He's had to do a lot tonight. Just stats-wise, I would have loved for him to get the sack and the forced fumble on that play.
Oh, yeah, for the effort.
Yeah. Something to hang your hat on because, you know, when you're in the position like Irving is, looks like got another injury on the field, but you'd like to take away little wins because you're not going to be able to get a win in the standings tonight.
Right.
And I'm not sure they're going to get one on the season now because then you look at the schedule going the rest of the way. Upsets can happen. We'll see how it goes.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the standings coming in. We've been talking a lot about Lake Highlands and what they've done for the year. 6-2 overall, 5-1 coming into the district. Teams have had byes throughout the year. That's why you might see some discrepancies in games played.
Yeah, like you were saying
Highland
earlier.
Park right there, but the new kids on the block, Berkner, Pierce, but Pierce is going to have a loss tonight. Jesuit appears to win. I think it's going to come down to Jesuit and Berkner for that fourth playoff spot.
Yeah, that's the way. That is the way it's shaping up. And you mentioned earlier Highland Park, good. If you had to pick a team, you'd probably still say they're the one that's going to walk away with the title, but it's not a done deal. Lake Highland has had a great season, and we'll see how that shapes out as we have 2 weeks to go here. But Richardson, again, they're not out of it. I mean, they may need some help at this point because they got to jump a couple teams if they're going to get in that position. But by winning tonight, they give themselves a little hope. And then, again, they got that head-to-head with Jesuit, which could help as they come down the stretch here.
We've had some crazy lopsided scores this week. Thursday night game, Argyle defeated Frisco Independent 63-0. But the old butt whipping of the night was Mansfield Timberview over Sunset, 90-0.
Goodness gracious.
A rough night for the Bison.
Say the least.
2nd and 3. I'm going to try that sideline pass again in the end zone. Hit his man harder. Incomplete.
Well, Cage dropped that right in the bucket, too. He
did,
put it exactly where you wanted it, where the defender could not make a play. It was a tough catch for Harder. I mean, it's not like it was right. It was an easy catch by any stretch of the imagination, but that's a tough play to make. But Cage made a great throw here. Right, the defender has no chance to make a play on that. It's just a matter of Harder's got to bring it in. Hit him in the hands. I know Harder thinks he should have had it. I know that's a tough catch, but that was a good throw. Just didn't convert.
3rd and 3. Left side handoff. Once again, Pope. Pope has enough for the first down.
Jaden Pope on the carry.
Upshaw comes up a little gimpy there, but stays in.
Good for a Richardson first down.
Bunch of fresh faces playing tonight. Number 22, Henry Duenas, yeah, sophomore. We talked about the sophomore and freshman trying to make an impact, and this is the time of year your youngsters need to play. You want to get them fired up about being able to play and enjoying their time out on the field, because wins and losses don't mean much at this point.
Right, you're just trying to get reps out there, and you want to get – coaches probably want to get a look at these guys too. And, I mean, they have one look at them in practice, but get them playing against a team like Richardson and get their first reps, first look at these guys at the varsity level.
High snap, Pope takes, sheds 2 tackles, maybe to the 1-yard line. Palacios, number 18, in on the stop. Unofficially tonight, Pope with close to 100 yards rushing. Between Pope and Polk, easy to say. Between those two, about 160, 70 yards rushing.
I believe every bit of that. I mean, they've had. I mean, it could be a lot more if they would have been running all night. But they've really kind of showed the whole arsenal, the offense tonight. I mean, they've really spread it around. They got touches for most of the wide receivers who've been into the game tonight. Running backs, they've really been sharing, and now they got Buckley in there.
Buckley met at the line. Upshaw, 1 of 2.
We haven't seen Buckley in a lot on offensive plays. He's been their go-to Wildcat guy on special teams.
He has been. He's Mr. Wildcat.
Yeah. They're looking at Upshaw again. He's had a good night. Again, a lot of these guys playing both ways. He's one guy who's been out there. I don't know if he's been out there every snap, but it's been pretty close.
Watch the middle of your screen. He pretty much pushed the offensive lineman Matthew Lewis backwards.
That's a good effort there, especially this late in the game.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah, he could just give up, roll
right?
over.
He is not giving up.
Last play, unless they score, that'll stop the clock. Right side, Buckley will go in for another touchdown.
Well, they've got quite an arsenal of running backs, all juniors, with Buckley, Polk, and Pope. They've all shown you something tonight.
They've got some linemen they need to replace. Sellers, Brazil, Gold, they all graduate. But they have Granados and Villafuerte, a couple of juniors that'll have to step up. Lewis, 73. He's the only one that comes back. Now, here's your kicker. You ask about the kicker.
There we go.
Here comes Gonzalez. He wants to make it 44. Even the refs weren't ready. They were all spread out. They're like, what? He's going to kick it?
Up and good. No problem.
Yeah. See?
No doubt. Never
they
a
had
doubt.
someone in their back pocket the whole time. Well, fun times on the Richardson sideline tonight, folks. From ground level.
Again, Buckley, he's just a good-looking athlete, man. They trust him on those 2-point plays. Now he's getting some reps late in the game here at running back. He can play some defense for you as well.
He coming in, he wasn't even that big on the stat sheet. You look at the top 4 rushers, and even just another rusher that had 1 rush, he wasn't even on the list. So this has been his coming out party, if you will, and a chance to get his feet wet and see what it's like to
it's good for the Eagles
points.
to know they have some depth if Ford is unable to go next week as well. It doesn't look they're hurting for options at the running back position.
Well, they have plenty, and that's the thing. But I believe, just based on their performance against the Wildcats, that they're going to have to hang their hat on their defense. They did well, when it counted. And in these next 2 games, I'm going to be keeping a watchful eye on how they stack up against some of the better teams.
And Richardson's defense has been great tonight. I mean, really, the only touchdown they gave up tonight was when they were put in a position on a short field and that nice kickoff return by Proctor in the first half. Other than that, they've really stymied this Irving offense and put them in second, third, long situations. And, the stats tell the tale. I mean, the offense numbers are pretty lopsided in favor of Richardson. So,
well, we have finished 3 and we're heading for 4. It's the Eagles 44, the Tigers 6. Back with the 4th period in a moment. And home of all 3 high schools, MacArthur, Nimitz, and Irving High. Irving High cheerleaders on the sideline. And the band, that's the thing about the bands, the score is secondary to the band. Just play. We just want to play.
Hey, if some parents have that mindset, and that is perfectly fine.
Absolutely.
You know, I've seen high school football all over the country, and you know, people debate where's the best high school football. Where's the best high school football?
Class A.
Is it California? Is it Florida? Is it Texas, Georgia? Hey, there's great Ohio, Pennsylvania. There are great teams, great fans, great programs all over the country. But I think what makes Texas high school football so special is what you're seeing here. It's the community around the teams. It's the bands, it's the drill teams, it's the cheerleaders, it's the fans that come out. Like, you know, for state championship games, they're filling up Jerry World for state. No other state does that.
No.
It's just the community around high school football in Texas that makes it so fun. It's why so many kids want to play. It's why we have the numbers as far as how many kids play high school football here in Texas.
That is Proctor with the carry. The Eagles are going to their second level of defensive players. They still have a few of the starters. You see their 11 is David Saka, one of those seniors playing in his last couple of games of his career. I also encourage anyone that's a big-time football fan or high school football fan to travel out to maybe some of the surrounding areas outside the Metroplex, and that's where you really get a glimpse of participation in big crowds.
Yeah, some of those communities where it's a one high school community and just the whole town comes out, one of those one stoplight towns, those are fun to go to.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, even just, outside of Fort Worth, you've got Argyle, Aledo just on the other side of Fort Worth. Year in and year out, very competitive.
Great program.
Yeah, very good program, and fill the stands every Friday, if they're on the road or at home. Stephenville, go watch a Stephenville game. Brownwood, go a little further south, watch the Lions play. It's going to be against Irving, I believe, on the punt. And it will die. And let's see if they re-kick, add it on to the total after the fact.
Defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay. 4th down.
Was it?
It was offside on the defense.
Yeah.
So there was 4th and 14. It's 5 yards. I guess, are they going to re-kick it?
Sometimes I've heard coaches just add it on to the end of the punt. So they go back to where the team caught the ball.
Yeah, that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, they just move it 5 from there. I like that new way of doing things instead of re-kicking.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah. Coach Nickerson didn't want to punt again. That's good enough. Back him up 5 yards. Essentially make the punt 5 yards better. Let's get your defense out there. I'm curious to see how many starters still come out here for the offense, because you look on that Richardson sideline. It's not like they got 100 kids over there.
No, but everybody seems to get to play. And to answer your question, the backup quarterback, Adam Barusa, number 12, junior. I thought I saw him come out.
I thought I saw a 12, but it's still 9 under center.
Yeah. Do they have Adam as a running back? Yeah.
There he is.
He's going to be a tailback in this offense. I questioned a couple of weeks back. We had Pierce that was still throwing the football at about this stage of the ball game and with the lead about this big. And I thought maybe it was a little ticky-tacky, as they like to say. And some of the coaches told me it's all what the team that's losing does.
Right.
If the losing team is trying to pass as well, they're going to pass. But if the losing team says, hey, we're just going to run it and run it out, then, common courtesy, I guess, is to the team that's leading to do likewise.
Yeah, I heard coaches say that when you're the leading team, if you want us to quit, well, you got to quit first. And if you quit, then we'll quit. And I think you're kind of seeing this, I'm not saying maybe quit's not the right term here, but the teams are kind of winding it down for the night. And I think you're seeing both teams do that. Richardson's just kind of going straight, easy runs up the middle. They're not calling trick plays or throwing right now. They're just running the ball.
I say slow down your aggressiveness.
Yeah.
That's what I call it. Tackle made by number 31, Anthony Uwika. Another sophomore making the play. So Almost every one of those sophomores, and at least half the freshmen are out there playing. Again, a sign of the times, a sign of the future.
Yeah,
what Coach Nickerson wants to do, let these guys play.
Get those guys in there, get them reps, get them excited, because no matter what the score is, these guys who don't play very much, they just love to get in there. Maybe get a little tape, right? Because something to show. Who knows if these guys could play at another level somewhere down the road? Just start getting some tape together, start working on it.
Oh, look at Barossa go! Look at here. He turns disaster and makes it a first down. Picks up the ball. He is the backup quarterback, but he's back there playing a running back next to his fellow junior quarterback.
Well, he's got some jets, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That looked like a mess of a play there.
I thought he's just going to give up, didn't you? I thought he's just going to fall down right there, but look at him turn the corner. See, everyone for Irving's tired, and he just runs right past them all, and a couple of the Irving players run into each other and ring their bell a little bit. We talked about some of the better teams early on, and the Dallas Morning News always has their top 10, and the cast of characters are usually the same. You've got Duncanville DeSoto 1-2 throughout the entire year. South Lake Carroll's moved up. The Crowley team has dropped. Last week we were singing the praises of the Crowley program, both North Crowley and Crowley in the top 10, but Crowley has dropped out. Rockwall, Prosper.
Duncanville, you felt so good for Coach Samples last year, finally getting his state championship. That was the first state title for Duncanville in 25 years, I believe it was. And, they got one of the best players in the country. I don't know how much you've seen of Colin Simmons, their big defensive lineman. He's a Texas commit. He looks like a future first-round draft pick to me, and he is going to be one of the reasons that they are going to be a pick by a lot of people to get back to state.
Here we go once again to Barossa, left side. It just seems like he just chugs, and next thing you know, he's reeled off 10 yards.
Well, yeah, he's done a lot of the work on this drive now, especially after that big play. So I think they're kind of positioned, well, if we're going to give it to somebody and run this clock out and try to punch it in here, might as well give it to 12. But it looks like he's heading to the sideline for a breather now.
Longhorn head coach, you talk about that for Duncanville. Duncanville, the Longhorns had the bye week. Sarkisian was in Mansfield watching Duncanville play on a Thursday night. He could watch those Thursday, Friday games across the state. Always recruiting, right?
Absolutely. There's plenty of options in the Metroplex to find his next recruit, but Duncanville's a good place to go if you're a college coach.
Well, not much going there for Pope. One of the few opportunities for him running the ball where he was met at the line of scrimmage. Flowers, number 87, also in on the stop. Irving's best chance to pick up a win this year early. South Garland lost by just 4. Cage in the corner. They're going to throw the flag for either holding or interference, probably holding.
Yeah, South Garland last season was their last win of any kind. They beat them a season ago. They were 1-9 in 2022. I mentioned at the top of the broadcast their last district win was back in 2021 against Richardson.
Tamaklo, number 84, was held there in the corner by one of the sophomores playing corner. Call holding. It's an automatic first down.
After distance penalty, automatic first down.
So again, if you're Irving here, you're just looking for small wins, right? Just something you can hang your hat on, build on for next week. Whether it's a young guy making a play for you, maybe you're getting a stop here on the goal line, just something just to keep building, because again, Rome's not built in a day. You're sitting here 0-7, about to head to 0-8, but you still got to have something to be encouraging with at practice, right? We talked about maybe on the other side they're looking for some things to pick apart in the film room. Maybe on the other side here for Irving, maybe to take a small win out of this one. So that's what Irving's looking like here on this drive, here in this fourth quarter, just to get some small wins, whether it's young guys playing, making plays, just something to hang your hat on.
And off. Pope Irving still giving everything they've got. They're not just doing the Matador defense.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. You know, it's if maybe you can get 2 more stops here. Granted, it's still 44-6. The game's decided, but you know, if you can get a stop here in a goal line stand, that's something coach can go to the locker room and say, hey, good job there, guys.
Perez Rentana, last man off the pile for Irving. A little confusion. One of the rare moments of confusion for Richardson. Quarterback had to run almost all the way to the bench to get the call. I mean, his headset didn't work in his helmet. When are we going to get those for high schools? Left side.
Ball's on the
Ball
ground.
is ground, but I believe he went across the goal line before he fumbled. And that'll be a touchdown for Jaden Pope. And the Eagles just keep piling it on here late in the ball game.
Yeah, to be clear, I don't think they're like doing it to run it up, but at some point you got to run plays, right? You can't just take a knee on every play when you got 7+ minutes to go. They're just running the ball up the middle. Got another touchdown.
Gonzalez, even he gets to come in for another extra point.
No doubt, man.
Yeah, it looks pretty solid.
Yeah, man.
I just think Coach Holloway was just looking for, a chance to give the next few teams something to think about on the extra point. And as you see Pope score and fall. Richardson, like we said, they got the gauntlet. They probably like to look back at that Pierce game, probably more than anything. I know Lake Highlands was a heartbreaker in overtime, the leading team in district. I guarantee you Lake Highlands was probably looking ahead at the time, but they've got Highland Park and Jesuit, 2 very winnable games this year, folks. It's not like the old times.
Yeah, I mean, Highland Park will certainly be the favorite in that game, but they can be had. You got to play a great game.
Oh, absolutely.
But that's what you're telling yourself if you're Richardson. You're going into next week saying, look, guys, we have a shot here, but we got to beat a good team to get there. And a win over Highland Park would certainly do it. And good showing tonight here for the Eagles. Convincing win here over Irving. But it'll be a different animal next week, that's for sure.
Lewis back in receiving formation. Something you don't see a lot of, a straightaway kick. We've seen a few tonight. Love it when you don't see the pooch kick like you used to. We'll see if there's any change in.
Richardson now has 2 running backs over 100 yards for the evening.
Wow.
With Pope at 114 and Polk at 111. 4 rushing touchdowns among the 3 running backs we've been discussing all night. Pope and Polk doing the bulk of the carries, but then Buckley has 1 as well.
Sounds like a law firm, doesn't it?
Pope, Polk, and Buckley?
Uh-huh.
Buckley, Polk, and Polk. Pope, Buckley, and Polk.
Any way you stack it, it's a lot of yards on the ground. And we've got a new quarterback who gives to Pena. And number 32, Lewis, a freshman. So we get another freshman out there. Nywin Lewis, number 32. Just kind of getting a feel for the game. It's a lot faster than playing freshman ball. But Nickerson said, hey, I'm grabbing them. I'm taking them off the other teams. I'm grabbing the best kids I can off the freshman and JV games. Yeah, he's a good size. See, he's grabbing the big kids. Bad snap, and he barely gets it back. Jitters, yes. Trying to make a play, maybe. A 9th grader playing varsity ball. They used to make
jitters. I don't know how many snaps he's had at the varsity level, but yeah, I think maybe have taken his eye off the snap there a little bit.
I remember just, JV when you'd scrimmage against the varsity, and you'd feel like those guys are so big. You can imagine being a freshman out there playing against the varsity, and a good defensive unit to boot.
Blow this one dead.
Getting paid by the Flags.
They can retire then.
Oh, after this year, everyone ought to have a 401k built up pretty good if that was the case. Playoffs start in about 3 weeks.
Actually, no flag. Looks like there was a timeout.
Okay. I take that back.
Yeah, we can still make jokes.
And 8-6A, Bowie and Arlington Bowie, Arlington Martin, both perfect at 3-0 in district play. South Grand Prairie, who started off horrendous with about 4 straight losses, have come around and make that 5 straight losses, have come around and won 3 straight to be in 3rd place, and Lamar down in 4th. Not a strong district, not a deep district, since they only have 7 in that district. They'll be changing that up here pretty soon. 3rd and 4 after the timeout. Let it rock and roll. Far sideline. He's got his man. He's got some room. It's Lewis. It's freshman to freshman.
How about that pitch and catch?
How about that? He just cranked that bad boy and let it go.
Lewis just absolutely let it fly. Great concentration.
Wait a minute. It's all coming to me now. It's his brother.
Oh, all right.
It's Lewis to Lewis. The Lewis boys. That's great.
Great concentration there by Trayvon Lewis. Are they brothers?
Yes.
They twins? Okay.
Yes.
How about that? All right.
That is awesome.
Well, yeah, great concentration by Trayvon to haul that in. He had 2 defenders around him.
He did, but you notice he had separation.
He did.
Like you said, too, Lewis has a little more size to him than Ybarra there in the backfield.
Oh, drop snap.
And just pick it up and go crazy. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
Take another look at this deep ball here. Again, just letting it fly. It's late in the game. Really between 3 defenders. I mean, really just dropped it in the breadbasket there. And again, Trayvon Lewis hauling the pass. Nice catch from his brother. And
yeah, Saka thought he had that.
He
Number
did.
11 thought it was just going to go right in his arms. And
good job holding on to it. He was going for the strip there, too.
So it's 3rd down. Need about 9. You got it your time. Going to go deep again to Lewis. Does he have it? Yes! How about that?
Now, there's the thing we were talking about earlier, something to hang your hat on, right?
Yeah.
Just something to make you feel good. Yeah, I mean, the game's been decided, but Lewis to Lewis again. Great throw, and I wasn't sure he was going to come down with that. We'd get in traffic again.
He got a pretty good arm on him. Call him the gunslinger.
He's got maybe a little unorthodox form on that way he cocks it back there and lets it fly, but it works for him.
He's just a freshman.
Hey, they got time to work on that for sure.
And the Beetlejuice band goes crazy.
10-0 for the extra point.
A last-minute substitution by Irving. And the officials say, okay, does Richardson want to come out? It's Ybarra, the starting quarterback. That's the holder, and that could be blocked, and it is. And they're going to let it go out of bounds. They are. They're not going to attempt the run back for 2.
Extra point at 10 block.
And we stand at 51-12. Let's look at the touchdown again, Joe.
You see Lewis dropping back there again, just rearing back and lobbing it towards his brother. Trust that he's going to come down with it. Just nice over-the-shoulder catch with the defender right on him there. Great concentration. Holds on to the ball. Maybe wiggled a little there. We're going to give it to him, though, man. It's 51-12. We're giving that catch to him. That's great concentration, great ball. That's 6. We're giving him that one.
Hey, credit Trayvon on adjusting to the pass. I mean, he had to drift somewhat to his left to come down with it. That's right. We said he came down with it.
He did. No one will ever say otherwise.
No. So a little
feel good there for the Irving Tigers.
Making something happen down the stretch.
Obviously hasn't gone their way, but I mean, it's nice to see these young guys getting in there and getting their moments. And that's something those two guys are going to be talking about tonight, maybe on the ride home. Say, hey man, I know it was a rough game for us, but how about that touchdown?
It's a short ride here. Onside kick?
We've seen their best onside kick tonight, man. I hated that for them.
They couldn't duplicate it.
Yeah, they couldn't do that again. And again, I hate it for it because, again, it was a close game at the time. It was 21-6, and they executed that onside kick perfectly and might have had a chance to maybe get some more points and maybe make it single digits early there in the first half. And in the grand scheme of things, it may have not mattered in the game. Hey, sure, they go for it again.
Sure, why not? And it's possible they got it.
How about that?
Please, no offsides. 2 in one night. Come on.
All right. If nothing else, they got the special teams thing working. They've recovered 2 onside kicks, one of them called back. But still.
Gandera, number 13, with the recovery. So, you know, I believe the success rate of onside kicks is like 5%.
Yeah.
Very low.
As it should be.
Sure.
You know.
And Irving did it twice tonight. Twice. He hit it just like you're supposed to on the top. He hit the top of the football like he did there.
Caleb Cinto, man, he knows what he's doing when it comes to onside kicks. That's for sure. He must practice this a ton.
Oh, it went right through the
right through the hands there.
That helps.
But still, he put it in a position where his guys can make a play. Usually to recover an onside kick, you do need at least one mistake by the opposing team, like to bounce off a bobble, slip through somebody's hands. Got a flag here on the first offensive play of this new drive here for the Tigers.
Defense number 8.
Give him 5 yards in first.
Let's keep chucking it deep, man. Let's have fun. We got 2:53 to go in this thing.
Come back, baby.
Let's go. Boy, be an all-timer.
It would be crazy.
People would be talking about that one for a long time.
They would. You would see Richardson put their starters back in. Well, they have a few of those still in there.
Yep.
They've sprinkled some starters with some backups. 40 is one of the backups. He's like the 3rd string linebacker. Viba, number 40, a senior.
2 yards, 2nd and 8 at the 33.
Now, I will say the Tigers being a little somewhat respectful, if you will, just kind of taking their time with the offense, not going no huddle. So you've got a freshman Proctor to the near side, a freshman Trayvon Lewis to the top of your screen, and a freshman quarterback in Lewis. He's going to try to go to his brother again. Can lightning strike again? No.
Yeah.
Leon underthrown.
Leon Croner, the Richardson defensive back there. He was waiting for that one.
They're like, we know what you're doing.
Yeah. And I think that's what some of these Richardson defensive players is like, the game's undecided, but they would love to add an interception to their stat line for the evening. So that's what Croner and his other compatriots back there in the defensive backfield said, look, man, I'm going to get myself a pick before I get out of here.
Yeah, Croner, one of the safeties. If he wasn't there, I think Lewis would be open. Proctor, overthrown Proctor here over in the flat. Stops the clock with $1:58 to go. And a 4th down and 8. You have noticed, though, haven't you, watching Nywin Lewis, that you don't see him running.
No.
He's chunking.
Now, he's back there to throw it, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing him scramble. I mean, I'm curious what he would be like as a mobile quarterback. And they've got a few years to work on him with this. Again, I don't know if this is his first varsity action or if he's played a little varsity before. But
no, this is the first time. I thought the coach said a couple of weeks ago that he was still playing like junior JV ball. And they hadn't brought him up yet. But this deep into the season.
Well, Irving's getting a glimpse of what the future's going to hold here. under Coach Nickerson, some of these freshmen and sophomores are going to be a big part of this as they try to gain some ground in the years to come in this district or whatever district they're going to be playing in as they redraw things here in the next couple of years.
It's too bad, again, that Reuben Smith and Deanthus Upshaw, the two tackles, are seniors.
Yeah.
By far the biggest guys out there on the field.
Yeah, Upshaw's given a great effort tonight. Again,
Yeah.
playing both ways. You know, I can't think of more of a grind in football than playing offensive and defensive line, because you're having to give max effort on every snap, right? If you're a wide receiver, maybe you have some plays where you don't do much, or a defensive back, maybe there's some plays that doesn't come your way. You don't have to, the running plays, you don't have to worry about as much. If you're a lineman, you're having somebody run into you on every play. And so you know he's exhausted, but he's given a good effort tonight, as have, you know, all these linemen that have had to play both ways all night.
You don't see that a lot in modern day football, in specialties, if you will. Lewis flushed from the pocket, and Sahowski, number 27, the second string rushing defensive end, they call it, made the tackle. And that will probably do it for the Irving offense in their efforts tonight.
Sack for the senior to wrap up his night. Yeah, it was a tough play for Lewis, man. I mean, by the time he got the ball, Sahowski was already in the backfield. Just not much you could do with it there. He tried to get away, tried to make a play, but again, it was probably too late by the time he recognized the rush was coming.
Well, yeah, for Naiwan, he was going in the direction where the rush happened. So, and he's a backup. You can't say, hey, we're blitzing our starters.
Right.
Oh, yeah, he's over there dancing, showing them how it's done. Now, I am surprised that Cage is still in there. I thought they would probably keep their backup
A few
Barassa.
snaps for Barassa.
Yep.
But, yeah, if you're just holding it off, it's not like you're risking injury with him, though.
Here goes Polk. Polk down the sideline. Put another piece of bread in the oven and a touchdown.
That's a perfect cap for his night. I mean,
Isn't
boy,
it,
he
though?
has been outstanding. One more big play to add to his night. That's putting him over 150 yards for sure.
When he cut the edge and had all that room, and he just outran everybody. Donovan Ford, number 21, one of the first, there is 21, to come over and congratulate him.
It's his third touchdown of the night.
Talk about a highlight reel for that young man. Extra point is good. Like you said, we've got all juniors at running back tonight because Ford's on the bench. He's the only senior.
Yeah, nothing too fancy there. He was designed to go up the middle, but boy, he cuts it outside. He had nothing but green grass in front of him. Just shows that he showed that great burst all night. He is just that first step. If he gets to the second level of the defense and there's nobody in front of him, he's hard to bring down. Great acceleration from Polk there, and again, his third touchdown of the night. I think unofficially, he's over 160 yards on the night rushing.
If you look at this Eagle team offensively and how many players will be coming back, just if you look at just the starters, no one else, just the starters, Ford graduates and 3 offensive linemen. Everyone else, juniors and sophomores on Holloway's team. So they've got the youth movement as well. They're a little bit more long in the tooth defensively. But offensively, they've got everyone coming back but about 3 players. And we've already seen that they're in good hands in the backfield with Polk and Pope. And also Buckley, throw him in there. What do you do with, Buckley? He's good enough you might want to throw him out there on the slot or something next season.
It's good to have options. It's a good problem to have of too many guys.
Hey, what if the Eagles, just out of spite, kicked an onside kick?
That would be mean.
We're going to try it.
That would be mean.
You've done it to us twice.
You're not going to do that. Coach Holloway would not do that.
Well, Irving's going to drop 0-8 for the year and 0-6 in district. Richardson is going to move up to 3-3 in district and 4-4 overall. So this is a 500 game for them.
Right. And now the question is, are they going to be able to finish at or above 500? We've talked about their schedule, the remaining games left. That's going to be a tall task.
It is. I mean, they've got, 4 teams above them.
But look at these running backs.
Hey, look at them go.
If they're in a game against, say, Highland Park, where maybe they are a little overmatched, having a stable of running backs that can control the clock and maybe keep the Highland Park offense off the field for a while, that could work in their advantage. So I would not rule them out in their next game.
This has been a very unpredictable season in district. And
nice play by
6A.
Pena there. I know Pena's had a tough night. Again, that Richardson defensive line has been so tough on him, but a nice game there for him for the first down.
Lewis, he's going to air it out again. Going to the Proctor, incomplete.
Lewis's pass intended.
It's one of those balls you're younger with your friends in the backyard playing 500. You just throw the ball up. That's one of those 500 balls right there. Just threw it up there and hoping one of the guys would come down. He was on target. I mean, this guy had a shot at it. But
is that the same thing as a 50-50 catch?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
Okay.
It is.
Different terminology.
Well, yeah.
You must be from the east side.
Well, it was a game you play with your friends. It's just like you and like 3 friends. The goal is to get to 500. You throw the ball up, say, this is worth 100, and if you catch it, that's 100 points for you.
I gotcha.
And so, but then sometimes you say, oh, this is 500. And then you've come down with a 500 ball, you win.
That's like when there's only like 2 of us in the neighborhood, and we play baseball, and you throw the ball like a hot box. You bounce it to your buddy, and if he gets past you, it's a base hit. If you field it cleanly, it's an out.
Okay, yeah.
Or the old home run derby, and you don't have enough guys to play, and you close right field. You got to hit it from second base to to third base. Second to right is second to first base is foul.
So we're going to have one more play here, and that'll be a wrap on the night.
These youngsters, they don't know the hard times we went through. I had a hard time saying that, the straight things. But still, they don't know. All right, could be the last play of tonight's ball game. And Lewis says, why not? And it is knocked down, and that should do it,
or is it?
My friends.
We got one more flag on the play for the night. I think y'all can pick that one up, in my opinion. They are. They're going to pick that flag up.
Yep. They're waving goodbye.
Yep. I think the referees looked at each other and said, why did you throw that one, man?
Yeah, it's the last one. Again, they're getting paid per flag. Yeah. Well, it's all over, folks. Homecoming ends on a sour note for these Tigers. 58-12. They ran into a really good Richardson team. We'll have a look at the final stats and the highlights when we come back.
Hey Irving, your city leadership has a bold vision for recreation and aquatics here in Irving. We have great plans for Center Park and Mustang. These plans include enclosing the swimming pool at Center Park and building a new multi-generational recreation and aquatic facility at Mustang. But we need your help with these facilities. We want to build facilities for future generations with amenities and features that elevate the way we play here in Irving. Visit us at cityofirving.org/playirving. We look forward to your input, and let's plan a great future.
We are getting a sneak peek at Glow and getting a look at all of the fun features, the entertainment, the color, all on the water of the Mandalay Canal. It's happening Friday and Saturday night here in Las Colinas to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Las Colinas. Incredibly spectacular, and this is just the preview. Glow is happening Friday and Saturday nights here on the Mandalay Canal with added attractions at Gables Water Street. The night ends with fireworks just before 10 o'clock.
everyone, I'm Susan Stevens. Be sure to join us on About Town to hear what's playing at Music on Main and travel back to the 50s at the Irving Heritage Senior Center. That's at 6:30 p.m. on ICTN Now, Spectrum Channel 16, and Frontier Channel 30. And on YouTube at the City of Irving. So you'll know what's happening about town.
Hi, I'm Thomas Gandy. City Source will be coming to you from here in beautiful Long Beach, California. We'll explain why and also have these stories. A new Irving school is helping to prepare workers for jobs in high demand. See where students are learning about welding and more. Plus, see the updated features giving a brighter flair to the Irving Convention Center. That's at 6 p.m. on ICTN Now, Spectrum Channel 16 and Frontier Channel 30, and at youtube.com/the City of Irving. For the important local stories and information we bring you on ICTN City Source.
Hi everyone, Levi here. The Tejano band Squeezebox Bandits close out the series from Music on Main. Enjoy the free live music at Heritage Park and grab dinner for one of the nearby restaurants in the Heritage District. Enjoy the show October 27th at 7 p.m. Don't miss Driving Miss Sadie, presented by the Irving Black Arts Council. It's a heartwarming story set in the 1950s about two unlikely friends during the changing times of the Civil Rights Movement. It takes place October 28th at 7:30 p.m. here at the Irving Arts Center. Wear your costumes and come trick-or-treating at the Fritz Park Petting Zoo. Enjoy the pumpkin patch, hay maze, petting zoo, photo ops, and much more. Admission ranges from $4 to $10. Check it out October 28th and 29th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
It's spooky. It's diabolical. It'll send chills up and down your spine at events so haunting. It's eerie. Eerie Irving returns to Trinity View Park on Saturday, October 21st from 6 to 10 p.m. Admission is free, so grab your scariest costume and make plans to attend Eerie Irving.
Well, a disappointing night for the Irving Tigers and their homecoming crowd as the Eagles win it 58-12. And not a lot, I guess, to really dissect and get some highlights through. But Joe's going to do his best to take us home here on the highlights, Joe.
Happy to, Rob. So up 21-6 at half. Richardson just kept going on the ground. This is one of their two-headed monsters. This is Jaden Pope right up the middle for a touchdown run of his own. He had 2 on the night. That made it 29-6 Richardson. Game pretty much out of hand for Irving, but they did have a couple big plays. These are the Lewis brothers. Nywan Lewis to his brother Trayvon Lewis. The big play there gets behind the defense. That gets them in position for what has to be the highlight of the night for Irving. Lewis to Lewis again. The brother-to-brother connection. Great grab in the end zone right by the defender. That got them on the board. That made it 51-12. But again, these running backs for Richardson, just way too much. Keyshawn Polk busted outside for the long touchdown run. That was the icing on the cake for the Richardson Eagles. They win this game 58-12. And now to wrap it up, here again is Rob Will.
All right, the Eagles with 26 first downs. You look at the total yards, 532, just dominating offensively. Penalties again, they've got 10. The coaches will have something to try to preach about for this team, but they got a couple of heavy hitters left for them. The Tigers, passing yards, 114, a lot of that late. Rushing just could not get that on track. A pretty good defense, but don't forget they played Lake Highlands very well last week and shut down the leading rusher of the Metroplex to only 60 yards, so nothing to be ashamed of there. They did turn it over twice. They did have 7 penalties for 70 yards. So again, the Tigers go to 0-8 overall, 0-6 in district. Richardson now 500 even at 3-3 in district play and 4-4 overall. So again, the final 58-12. a good night for the freshmen, something to hang your hat on, if you will, for these Irving Tigers. And that will wrap it up for our 41st season on ICTN. And as always, we appreciate everyone that helps put these games together so people at home can enjoy it from the comforts of their home and watch them also on YouTube at a later time. And we appreciate the crew and everyone that's been a part of this one. And that'll do it for our final as we take a look at downtown Dallas on a Friday night in late October. Again, the final, Richardson 58, Irving 12. For Joe McCann, I'm Rob Willman. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time on the ICTN Game of the Week.